Now, there are exactly two types of cardio that I use to shred over 50 pounds and keep it off. And these are forms of cardio that I still use to this day to get leaner and leaner every single week. So if you're tired of doing HIIT cardio, circuit training, feeling like complete garbage after a cardio workout, and you want to do cardio that you actually enjoy, that isn't a burden to do and gets you the body that you want, my friend, you are in the right place. First of all, we need to talk about cardio myths. Now, this is only recently being debunked in the fitness industry, but I gotta tell you straight up, cardio is not a magic bullet. Diet is always our number one priority, and doing tons of cardio can actually be counterproductive for our fat loss because it can spike up our cravings, it can cause muscle degradation, so we lose muscle, and worst of all, it can increase our appetite. Second point with cardio. Cardio only makes up for about 5 to 10% of the total calories that we burn within a day. Let's say 2,000 calories are burnt in a day. That means that there is only 100 to 200 calories coming from doing that cardio. But there is a caveat to this, as you can just increase this number by doing more cardio. But the point is, we shouldn't rely on it like a crutch. The best way I can get you to understand the use of cardio on a fat loss journey is imagine that lamp back there. That lamp back there is not lighting my face. This one is. What do I mean by this? It is working away in the background, right? It's cooking away in the background, kind of making the background look nice. That is what cardio is. It cooks away in the background while we focus on the more important stuff, i.e. the diet. Now from that, I think we should move on to the two types of cardio that we should be doing. Number one is going to be something called LISS, right? What does LISS mean? It is low intensity, steady state cardio. To put it in plain English, that is going to be something like walking, right? Either walking on the flat, walking on an inclined treadmill. And low intensity cardio is great for the method of fat loss that I employ with the guys that I help, whether it be you in the comments, in the DMs, or the guys in my mentorship. And my philosophy for losing fat is keeping our activity as high as possible and keeping our food intake as high as possible, so we are not sacrificing and pulling from food, leading to that unsustainable dieting lifestyle that unfortunately so many people out here are living. I lived it at one point, and maybe you have too, which is how you ended up on this video and this YouTube channel. Now, for the second type of cardio, this isn't actually a specific cardio type. This cardio type actually takes many different forms, and it does not look the same for each and every format that it comes in. What am I talking about? The second type of cardio that is going to help you cook fat like no other is simply going to be cardio that you enjoy. Now, whether this be a sport, whether it be boxing, whether it be martial arts, whether it be a team sport, it can be anything, but just make sure that it is something that you enjoy, so you're going to stick to it for an extended period of time. And I would do this maybe once or twice a week. Now, here's where I need to apologize because I lied, because there's actually a third cardio type, if you will, that I've discovered recently that has helped me on my most recent fat loss journey, where I'm trying to get as lean and as peeled as possible. I want to see how far that I can take this. And also, getting this lean is helping me with my content because I can teach you new things that I'm learning along the way. So what is this form of cardio? Well, it's a concept, and I've coined it micro steps. Focus on the micro steps. What am I talking about? These are steps that you don't even consider them as steps. They're so tiny and they're so minuscule, you kind of disregard them. But if you're doing everything right, these can actually help you burn a few extra calories more. I'm not saying it's revolutionary. If you're not eating in a deficit and not doing everything that you're supposed to, this isn't going to help. See, this is like a cherry on top. But micro steps are things like parking further away from the grocery store. If you have 2 bathrooms in your house, I make a conscious effort in my house to use the upstairs bathroom, even if I'm upstairs, even if it's inconvenient, even if I'm about to like wet myself or something, I will still run up to the upstairs bathroom because I got to get those steps in. Things like walking around the grocery store for a little bit longer, just doing an extra lap or 2, stuff like that. That is a form of cardio that is great just for adding that extra 1 to 2K steps in at the end of the day that can make the difference over the course of weeks, months, and potentially years. So there is much more to losing fat than learning about these unique forms of cardio. But if you are a guy who is in their mid-20s, and you're just looking to feel comfortable, not only in yourself, but even in the clothes that you're wearing on a day-to-day basis, just how you carry yourself and just how you're perceived by people, then in my mentorship, which is the program that I charge for, you're going to get the step-by-step blueprint on how I have done what I've been able to do and maintain it. And I will personally assist you and guide you throughout this journey, so you can avoid all the mistakes that I made and you can get to where I'm at now a lot quicker than I did. So if that is something that you would find valuable and you've liked what you've heard today, then I would seriously consider checking out the mentorship. I'll see you on the other side.